Hello everyone, Anita here, and this is day 6 of the 30-day sketchbook challenge. Today, I've been inspired a little bit by the beautiful weather we have here in Holland at the moment. Normally, I do not really enjoy sitting outside in our backyard because not only our backyard is completely ruined, it doesn't look good. We have to take care of it. Never mind that. But also because, our neighbors are really close. We live in one of those rows of houses. So the backyards are really close. I just don't feel really nice there. But the weather was so extremely nice. I just couldn't help it. I just took my chair out. I had a coffee with me. I took my book and I was just sitting outside, enjoying the sun and the weather. And there were birds flying around. And actually, they were my favorite birds of them all. Swallows. I absolutely love swallows. They are, those little black birds with the split tails. I absolutely love them. They remind me of summer. Every time in the summer when I would go back from vacation when I was little, I would sit with my window open and they would just fly everywhere. We had fields nearby. So they would just fly everywhere and, I don't know, there's the sound that they made and just the way they fly remind me of my childhood and summer and just sun. And it's such a nice feeling and I really wanted to try, somehow incorporating them. And I had this picture of a girl, just like a, personification of a swallow, I suppose. I really like the idea of the split hair. And so I've drawn a girl like that, with split hair. And I really wanted to use something different in this painting, or rather the sketch. I can't really call it a painting, even though this one really took quite a long time, mostly because I really couldn't figure out how I wanted this girl to appear, to what pose I wanted her to have. It's really awkward. I knew that I wanted her to have those hands kind of grasping at something, I suppose, bent elbows and, arms really, really close to the chest. And I wanted her to have this kind of a jumping position, I suppose. But I really didn't know how to get around doing that. And so, I was really struggling with her pose, with the dress. I really wanted a balloon dress. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of a card capture Sakura for some reason. I believe there is a picture like that somewhere. There has to be, because immediately when I had the connection, it clicked in my head and I was like, oh yeah, I think I've seen it before. But, that's how we get inspiration. That's okay. So I was really struggling with that. And that's one of the reasons why it took a really long time. But I'm also running out of my Copics. After all those paintings, I'm starting to run out of Copics. I'm starting to notice, white tips at the end of the, much often that kind of indicates that the ink is almost gone. And I don't have refills for any of my Copics. As I mentioned before somewhere, I shared them with a friend. Actually, she had bought most of them. I have a few. We kind of mixed them all together. And, when she needs them, she uses them for her coloring books. When I need them, I just pick a few. And so I have only a few colors with me at the moment. So I was really looking for kind of a substitute that I could also try and use. So I have those acrylic pens that I really like. But I have also an ink laying around that I just bought. It's a Winsor Newton ink. And I really wanted to try painting with it, but this ink is water soluble, which means that after I paint with it and I wet the surface, it just runs, which is not what I imagined. I don't know what I imagined. I imagined it would stay there, stay where it was. But I really wanted to kind of incorporate that ink, try using it just a little bit. And so I've decided to begin with that I would use black ink. I thought, with a brush it would make really nice strokes. And then I also had gold ink laying around that I've never really used because, the way this ink works is that the particles are really heavy. And so I don't know, it just clumps and I have to shake it a lot. And I've only tried it before with some like the drawing nibs. Pen nibs, like dipping pen nibs. And I just for fun, just for a little bit. And I, of course, without any skill, I didn't get any nice effect. So I kind of just shoved it aside for better times, for more inspiration. And so I really, really wanted to use it because in the bottle that ink looks extremely nice. And as I normally don't use gold or any kind of metallic in my paintings because I think forward to a moment when I have to take a photo or scan it and eventually maybe turn it to a print. So I know that, gold does not really does not digitize well, basically. And so, but in this case, I know that I'm not going to do anything with these sketches because these are just sketches. So I could, get loose and have fun. So with the hair here, I'm kind of trying a little bit the sketching motion. Like, I thought I would have every single separate hair just drawn in. And I wanted to create reflections in her hair. And I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. I kind of don't really do that. I don't create, I like shadows. I don't really do highlights that much unless I use just white ink or something. So I filled in her hair completely black and immediately I liked it much better. It just felt really nice and deep. The contrast was awesome. And I used the paintbrush to kind of have the idea that her hair is made of feathers, maybe? I don't know, just for an indication. And so then after that, I got the gold ink out. But before I started, I was kind of imagining that from the middle of the flowers, because, these are flowers. I wanted the flowers to be gold. But I wanted the middle to be darker so that the golden petals would stand out more. And so I've just used a lot of the Copic ink, the one I have in abundance, and that's the W3 and W5. And then the colorless blender. These are the ones I'm going to be using a lot because these are the only ones I have, like, a lot. I have the refills for them. So immediately when I was using, I was really afraid actually of using the ink first because I thought that, it's a very wet medium. I thought it would buckle the paper, but it doesn't do that as much as I expected. So I was really happy. And the one thing with this ink is you can see me sometimes just sticking my paintbrush in the bottle and just digging around, trying to mix that metallic powder. I don't know if it's a pigment or powder or whatever. That thing was so heavy. It immediately settled on the bottom of the bottle and at the bottom of the bottle. And it was nice. Like, it made a beautiful golden, golden paint. Just that it was extremely beautiful, but it was a pain to dig it out because it would clump around the paintbrush and just be really, really bad. And so here I'm actually drawing in a few of those little swallows. I wasn't really too specific about the shape of them. I just thought that a little indication that they're there would be enough. And I was really, really happy with how this one turned out. It took a while, much longer than the previous ones, but this is more like an actual painting rather than a sketch. Let's be honest here. It's a very mini painting. But I actually might turn this into a proper one someday. I don't know, I often pull on these ideas, at least I know that I pull on these ideas from my older sketches, so perhaps in a few years I will be looking into this sketchbook. And that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like to see this painting in its full glory, then head to my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!